There we go. Okay. All right, we're going to put this in 1.25 speed. I've already watched this, so we'll just go quickly through this one. All right, so good first start. I'll jump through this. You go after Delta here. I like the start with a tank. You got the armored battalion too, so you got special abilities. Yeah, you want to push forward and you want to take something. As you're going to Delta here, I like that you're scanning and you're trying to figure out where he's at. On a map like this, if you don't see him moving to Bravo, you got to start thinking, well, where else could he be going? And the only other logical place he could be going is Sierra. So if he's not moving your direction with a transport or an infantry coming this way, there's you got to think like there's a high likelihood he's going the other direction, which he could be sneaking around to the backside of Foxtrot, or he's going to Sierra. So you got to be prepared for that. I want to pause here. Actually, let's roll back just a moment. I'm going to change this back down to 1 speed. All right. So right here, you send the transports after gunship, which is good. You secured Lima, and you're upgrading it. But what I don't like here is deploying this rifleman right now. If you think just for a moment about what you have on the battlefield and like where you are, you can deploy this rifleman, and your options are you're going to run them down to Sierra or you're going to run them to Foxtrot. If you think about it, you have a rifleman sitting on Lima. They're going to upgrade that uplink. Then what are they going to do? They should start running to another uplink. So once they've taken Lima, that's when you move them off of Lima and you start moving them towards Sierra or to Foxtrot. So when you're this far forward on the map, you've gotten Delta and you've got like secured forward position. This is where you want to start getting your armor out. You start getting another gunship out, or you start getting your artillery out even, and you start getting forward offensive pressure. You could even deploy a transport here to pick up your riflemen that are about to be done with upgrading Lima so that you can get them to Foxtrot even faster, so that you get your command points faster. That's something I actually really like to do here. But basically, because you have such a forward advantage already on the map, you want to push it. So we're looking at this and we're thinking, well, Gummy's probably somewhere around Sierra. So if Gummy's around Sierra, like what's he going to be able to do from that side? You know, you got to be able to defend against whatever could be coming around that backside. So there's a good chance, like maybe he's got a transport and a tank that's coming around that backside that's going to sneak in, try to get towards Lima. So having a gunship out to help spot would be good here. Or like I said, getting that transport out to start moving your guys from Lima, or having an artillery out that you can start to pummel any ground units he's got. So that's sort of the order I would go in there. And a rifleman would be the next thing. So it'd be like 4th on the list of things that are priority for. And then the surprising thing is you deployed another rifleman. Like, think to yourself, what's this rifleman going to do? I never liked the idea of just leaving a rifleman back on Lima. So once they've secured Lima and they've upgraded it, they should start moving forward. So you only really need 3 riflemen for Delta, Foxtrot. Yeah, so I mean, like if you think about where you are in this position, he's got a gunship out. He's got an uplink that's being upgraded, likely electronic warfare, since it's 1 uplink. If it were 2 uplinks, he'd be going for like force recon. He could be going for airstrike, but if it's airstrike or EMP, he's in a strong position where that gunship can come up and take out your transport, and then you have nothing defending your tank. Okay, we're going to jump ahead a little bit. Let's change the speed. Okay, you've got Delta. This is good. You hit his gunship. You're sending both riflemen towards Sierra. Upgrade force recon. I don't like upgrading force recon there because it's going to be a long time before you get force recon 2, but it's not a bad idea. I mean, you don't need to be using force recon 2 or you don't need airstrike either, so it's not a bad. Right here, his gunship is coming in towards you. See, this is what I mean. He EMPs your transport here, and now he's got like full attack time on your tank. Gummy makes a mistake though, because he brings it in, but your transports can just do that. So move there from Gummy. On the Moscow map, when I was talking about EMPing, and then you run in and you get some damage on the tank or on the artillery. In that case, I was talking about a Russian gunship hitting a European artillery in the time that you have a level 1 EMP on a European transport. That Russian gunship can do a pretty significant amount of damage to one vehicle. Doesn't go the other way though. A European and against a Russian tank, especially because you've already seen that the Russian tank is flamethrowers. And if Gummy had zoomed in on your transports, you could see the little rocket barrage thing on there. So he should have known that you've got hardened units, and there's no way his gunship is going to do enough damage to warrant 3 command points. All right, so now you've got a gunship and you've got a artillery. See, this is what I mean. He deployed a tank to come after you. Actually, let's go back. What did he EMP? The EMP comes down, but I don't see what he hit. But listen, it says East Quadrant, I think. East Quadrant. So he EMP'd something to the east, and I don't know what. I think maybe he might have wasted it there. Yeah, he's trying to get your transports right now because he knows your transports are the only thing that's defending your tanks. And unfortunately, it's the only thing you have that's defending your artillery once that comes out. And I talked about it a little bit on the last video, but right here, your artillery just deployed and you're telling them to attack the tank. And that's where you don't know where your artillery is going to move to. And they might move to like just barely within range to hit that tank and start shooting at it. If his tank starts retreating, then you're going to be out of range. So it's best to just start moving that artillery forward until they're in a good position and then tell them to attack. So that way, maybe you get an extra 3 seconds of them attacking while the tank is retreating and you can defeat them. But yeah, your transport sticks around for way too long here and goes down. And this is where like earlier when I was saying, if you deployed another transport to bring your riflemen up, you'd have 2 transports around Foxtrot to help defend against any gunships. Or if you had artillery down, then you'd have 2 artillery that were already been down and in position, ready to hit that tank when it showed up. And here you electronic warfare's gunship that's got barely any health, which I think is fine because it keeps it from killing your tank, and then your tank is able to do its special ability. But it just doesn't feel great, is basically what I'm getting at. Like, it works out, but it doesn't feel great. And here again, you're telling your artillery to attack hostile forward, but look at where your artillery's at on the map. Get your artillery into a position where you want them to actually like have coverage on the map, and then tell them to attack things. And then take stock of like what you are, where you are, and like what your weaknesses are. Always think about what your weaknesses are. Right now you have no anti-air, not a single bit of it on the map. So if any gunships show up from Gummy, you're in a world of hurt. And then as we continue to take stock on where we are, earlier in the game, remember he went to Alpha, but you never saw any of his units. So the Sierra side, you can see he captured it and he's got engineers there. It's Gummy you're playing against too. You know he's got minefields everywhere. So be prepared for minefields. And you don't have to spot a minefield to destroy it. Just start attacking the ground all around the uplink and you'll see the minefields explode. So right here with your gunship, as you get, like if you notice, like there's nothing around on the map. Like start moving your gunship up towards Alpha, see what he's doing. Get an idea of what's coming in the next like 2 minutes so that you can deploy the right unit. You pick the right unit. And right there, you can see a minefield actually got destroyed. That's what all that little extra explosion was. So think about that as you start to move a rifleman unit that way. Like you need to attack the ground all around with your artillery. And then you've got units that are just sitting. So right here, you've just got units sitting. So like you've got a rifleman sitting on Delta. You've got a rifleman sitting on Lima still. You've got your tank sitting here at Foxtrot. Like your tank could come down over this hill on Foxtrot to the left side of the tank here, the left side of the screen. And there was that transport. You might have been able to get some damage onto that transport. And then electronic warfare on his gunship, which is great. But your transport's just deployed. So you're not really getting them there in time to defend and save it. So you have to think about that too. So like you've got the right idea, but you've got to evaluate the situation before you call it in. So it bought you a little bit of time, but not enough time to really defend that unit. And then Unit 6, yeah, you walked him through a minefield but you should have known he was dropping because you saw him walk up towards it. He loses his gunship, so you trade gunship for tank there, which is a decent trade. You pretty much always want that. Okay, you're calling in Force Recon. I like this play. You sent it to Alpha. That's kind of a strange one because his deployment zone's right next to Alpha, but if you call it in on Alpha there, it can't attack what he deploys. So instead of sending it into Alpha, just send it like a little bit south of Alpha. Put it right in his deployment zone, so anything he deploys, it just immediately starts getting hit by what you sent. But I like the idea because it's now, if it does get to Alpha, it's defending Alpha. It's like giving you a very like good objective to go after. Artillery's doing good, just to keep hitting that. Yeah, do too. So like right here, like you've had that rifleman sitting on Delta this whole time. There's like this whole castle around you with like buildings and stuff, like the ramparts. I think there's sections in it that you can. But he took Bravo. Like when he takes Bravo and uplink like that, and you've got your gunship around, like you got to scout this out and like see where he went. So like start thinking like, okay, where did his infantry go? He took Bravo. You don't like, he's not going to go walk him back towards Alpha. He's not going to walk him in through to Foxtrot. Like think about like, where is he going to go next? And he's probably going to be sneaking around to try to get to Lima. Or he's trying to push up to Delta. Like those are really the two options because you didn't see him head to the west. And then again here, you're sending in your rifleman to Sierra. You just need to attack the ground around it. Just force attack the ground around it. Even if you can't see the minefield, just force attack the ground around it. And you can check for minefields and destroy minefields. So here's Gummy doing something that's actually really smart. He EMPs as he's getting close to your uplink so that you can't see that he's coming into your uplink. So this whole time your map is disrupted. He's got a rifleman unit sneaking onto your uplink. It's the one from Bravo. He snuck all the way around. And you can see it on the map right there. Once that map pinged, once your map comes back up, you gotta take stock. Boom, red. He's coming to Lima. And he hits you with another EMP. Blocks your vision again. All right. So right now, he's taking Lima from you. You're taking Sierra from him, which is good. You're good. You turn your artillery onto the uplink. Smart. Okay. Hits you with a very good EMP that just stops everyone. It was really good on him. Here, I don't like you changing Sierra. You've already got an EMP. It's your Electronic Warfare 1 right now. Just leave it. Don't change that. You don't need airstrike. And then you deep strike. I love that you deep strike. I don't like that you deep strike Bravo because you already have your rifleman at Delta and you've already scouted out that he's got nothing in between Delta and Bravo. Run from Delta to Bravo and look at where your force recon's at. It's on Alpha. Right here, you could have deep strike to Alpha, taken Alpha, and had a chance to take Bravo as well. Oh, shoot. Sorry. He has transports over at Bravo. Okay. You still could have probably walked south through Delta and around to Bravo, but like that's what I'm saying. He's got one unit that's defending it, and you've got a way to get that figured out and get around him. Even right now, if you had waited on that deep strike, if you had deep strike Alpha and you wait and you see that transport and look at where it moved, you could have just walked your rifleman from Delta to Bravo. Then the only uplink Gummy has left is Lima, and you're in DEFCON, so you can just deploy as many units as you want because you just picked up 8 command points, and now you have a chance to just take everything. I mean, you might not be able to take Lima and immediately win the game, but you get another artillery down, another transport, another tank, a rifleman with 8 command points. You get all 4 of those units down. You've now got a chance to take Lima. You've got a chance to take Bravo and Alpha, and then you've got a tank and a transport. You can move forward and have like a forward offensive deployment. I think that's about it. I think this game, like Gummy lost the game. He just spent a lot of command points on electronic warfare. I like the sneak around on Lima there, Gummy, but you didn't do it. I don't know what you did with the command point. I see a lot of electronic warfares coming down, probably too many. It is possible to have too many electronic warfares. And I think it just cost you. I don't know. It just kind of made it to where you didn't have a chance to take a whole lot. Here, I wouldn't airstrike this rifleman. Like, You've already got artillery pummeling it. You've already got a transport that can stop it. Save the 4 command points for in case something bad happens. I like that you stopped taking Bravo. That was smart. So I'll leave it there. That was kind of an interesting match to watch. So I'll throw this up on you.